It's Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness!
Let's go. We got preseason football. It's back tonight. Yes, I am erect fully. JT Hayes and Third and Schlong. I was just talking about my legs, not anything else. Also, we've got a big baseball slate. Really, it's a smaller baseball slate. I'm just so damn excited, though. So excited to see you boys, Third and Schlong and JT. I'm so excited that we got baseball. I'm so excited that I played Brandon Pfaadt and Touki Toussaint today. It's just been wonderful. And look at this deal. Look at this deal we got. NFL 23, 23% off for life. All packages for life. Like, if you die in 6 months, you'll still get it, like, after you're dead. If you're alive in 16 years and we're still here, 23% off whatever it is. That's a hell of a deal if you ask me. And we introduced JBC today, who, again, he might have to make an appearance on our old guys pod, JT, because that son of a bitch looks old.
Well, he says he's 34, and I mean he's got the salt and pepper hair. I get that. That works for some younger kids these days. I got a couple of younger friends myself that have the salt and pepper hair going on. But yeah, I do. But I'll tell you this. I mean, you look at where we've come in 3.5 years, whatever it is, since this site started. And look, I mean, everyone who's played in the GPP has seen the name JBC, yes. Usually above them. I mean, this guy is one of the best in the industry at all sports. And just to have him joining the team with the knowledge that he brings, he's a multi-maxer. I've been in and out in my DFS career of doing 150, doing some smaller numbers of entries. And 150 is tough, particularly in a sport like baseball where you're trying to set up different stacks and one-offs. And this is, as you said, a smaller slate, only 6 games, but you get to those Tuesday and Friday night slates, man, and it's tough. So excited to see what he brings to the team. And listen, hopefully it's just a little bit less of you, Holden, and a little bit more of really, really good DFS.
No, too bad. Sorry, JT. More of me. And believe me, there's going to be more of me during football season. You're not going to be happy, USOB, but we'll do our podcast still. We'll bring Third and Schlong in here in just a second. In all seriousness, though, very happy to see JBC on board. I'm not a big MMA guy. I know he crushes over there, but I'm really looking forward to working with him during NFL season. And I was pretty impressed with the Ray Caruth jersey. All is forgiven. The guy's out of prison, and he wore a Ray Caruth jersey today on the show when Big T invited him.
Is he out of prison? Is he out of prison?
Oh, he's been out of prison for a little while now. Yeah, he's living with his grandma.
It's his first day. So first of all, it's his first day. You can't slander him yet. It was not a Ray Caruth jersey.
It's not a slander. I mean, it was a Panthers jersey. It could have been a Ray Caruth. Hey, welcome to the team here because we all talk shit. Okay.
There are people who frown upon that type of comparison.
Who?
There are people.
JBC.
Nobody at World Sports. There might be someone watching here.
No, remember, I don't give a shit, and I'm very happy that he's on board.
You've now pissed off Mateo, by the way. So
Mateo the dog?
I'm just surprised it took this long.
Is that your dog, Schlong? Is Mateo the dog, or is he a different dog?
He's right here being a
there he is
fucking asshole.
No, I mean, listen. This is the reaction that Holden
trying to get on the show.
Children, animals,
even the dogs get pissed off.
It's perfectly fine.
Even the dogs get pissed off, Schlong.
I guess he's a Ray Caruth fan.
Your dog's a Ray Caruth fan.
He just got overexcited.
Schlong coming in hot today. Super hot. I love it. 6-game baseball slate. We got a few minutes. We got to make this last an hour, by the way. It's mandatory. It's an RPS mandatory thing. I don't know what AP is talking about. Laughing your ass off about what? I mean, what a crew right here. I agree. What a crew. It's a great crew. AP, why are you trying to laugh us down? I don't get it. Any ideas, guys, why AP would hop in the chat and try and besmirch us?
He's not. He's happy. He's happy. That's how he expresses his joy.
I was also disinvited from the party once again, the party next March. I'm absolutely fine with that. No question. I'm fine with that. I don't have to go back to Kentucky where there's inbreds with shotguns standing outside of the house. We'll make different plans this year. It'll be great. That's it. Was laughing at you calling JBC an old donkey. All right. And P. Lally doesn't want me to pick fights. Listen, I can't wait to work. And I'm being serious here. This is a monster edition for Run Pure. I'm very excited about it. Mateo. Hey, does Mateo hump legs?
Oh, yeah. Humps arms. He's too small for legs. He's all of 15 pounds.
So what is it? Just shoes and feet? Is it a feet guy?
It's like an elbow fetish. It's kind of weird.
That looks like, what is that? Because it's like an interesting kind of toy for Mateo.
Just a toy. He's teething.
Yeah. Holden has one of those.
What? Somebody that humps my elbow?
A dildo that you suck on, Holden.
I got rid of that last year. So again, NFL season starting tonight. I went through the playbook. Kurt's doing cores. Rubio's doing cores. All our guys are doing cores for the preseason game. Looking forward to that. Talk a little betting too. That's going to be great. And then again, NFL 23, 23% off for life. Any and all packages. Mateo could have a lifer right there. Mateo, what's up, dog?
Mateo actually may be the best addition to the team because I like, as you know, Holden, I have a little dog like Mateo. I have Quinn.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
If you want to say that, that's fine. We the people is holding off the rails already. Has to be an increase in his dosage of edibles. Not true. Not true at all.
The problem with you on a 6-game slate show is that this is kind of the expectation, right? We're going to get a lot of
bullshit, a lot
of off-topic discussion, and that's why I'm glad I've got you tonight, and then I've got you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'm expecting 13, 14 games, so there'll be a lot less time for you to fuck around.
Nothing but baseball.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Did we find DC yet? Do we know where he is? Because he has not said anything for about 7 days now, about a week. Is he alive?
It's on vacation. Yeah.
So says you. Schlong, I do want to also say this. I would like to say that you have the coolest dog at RPS.
Thank you. I'm sure he appreciates it, and maybe he'll stop being so much of an asshole when I do shows.
I think it's great. Can you show us how he likes to hump your elbow, or we need to move on?
He's currently chewing a bone on the floor, so we're going to leave him like that. But I'm sure you'll get a glimpse later in the show.
All right, wonderful. Phallic wants you to watch the language, JT, if you can.
Phallic, for as fun as he is in person, online he's just always got to complain about something. He's a very schoolmarmish individual about what you should and shouldn't do. And so, Kevin, I love you, but go fuck yourself.
He got on the main page too for the course today. He took DC's core. Total alpha move. Love it. K Phallic, you take anybody's score at any point in time, dude. You're golden with me. Hey, Schlong, do you know you're freaking yawning? I mean, this guy's already done with the show. We're 9 minutes into it, Schlong, and you're already yawning.
I was just stretching my jaw. I took a nap before this.
All right, very good. Who's the one with the dildos? So, JBC, Third and Schlong? Have you been?
I know Mark very well. We've been friends for a long time, and he's pretty much the best at what he does. Like, I specialize in cash games and more single entry stuff, and he specializes in the 150s. So, I think both of us coming on board makes it a great addition. I know a lot. He can add a lot of value. He's helped a lot of players in the industry throughout the years kind of come on board and, kind of train them up. And, he's looking forward to doing the same thing here.
Yeah. 2 remarkable additions. And I'm not just saying this because you're here, but I'm very excited that we brought both on board. Both will be a big boost to our NFL team and other sports as well. So that's great. What is this? Tig old biddies get to the baseball. Holy shit. Have you not watched an RPS free show? I mean, it's a 6 freaking game slate. We got to stretch it out to an hour. Why don't you become a member and we won't do it as much next time. If you show me a receipt that you just signed up, 23% off, promo code NFL23, 23% for the rest of your life, 23% off You show me the receipt. From now on, we will just do sports on this. Just do sports, and that's it. Let's get into the slate. So a 6-gamer tonight. The Cubs are back on the slate, guys. Ohtani's on the slate. I don't know what you're shaking your head about, JT. Listen, I get it. The Cubs are going to be mega chalk, but how do you not? They're scoring like 12 runs a game since the All-Star break, JT. They're unstoppable. We'll get to their offense a little bit, but how do you not at least get a piece of them? Other teams are going to score, but these guys are going bananas.
Yeah, I mean, we had somebody in Discord yesterday talking about how the Cubs scored 20 runs on Tuesday night, and they couldn't go back to them. And they didn't score 20, Holden. They scored 16 last night, and you absolutely needed pieces of them. Ian Happ with 2 home runs last night. And it's not just the fact that they're in a good hitting environment, but they get an opposing pitcher in Luke Weaver, who just is below average, a below average major league pitcher. And this team has been on fire. I think the isolated power average of 220 over the last 30 days against right-handed pitching. So Cubs are definitely going to be popular. The Dodgers are going to be popular against JP Sears for, I think, very good reason, the way that they've been hammering left-handed pitching. And then you have Oakland's bullpen, which got even weaker at the deadline. Cincinnati's going to be popular against Jameson Taillon, although Taillon, as of late, a couple of games against the Cardinals where he's pitched a little bit better, and he's pretty cheap tonight. So I think that's an interesting thing to take a look at on both sides there. And then you've got Minnesota, popular Minnesota, usually at RPS means an absolute fade, but they're getting Matthew Liberatore as the starter for the Cardinals. And then the Cardinals bullpen that has to be one of the weakest in baseball with their trades at the deadline. So I think you can justify some pieces there. And then the Pirates bringing up the rear here in popular teams at 9%. As far as less popular teams, I mean, the Astros are going to go under the radar here. The Cardinals are going to go under the radar a little bit against
Doyers,
who's been absolutely average. What's that?
Doyers. We got to play some Doyers again. Cubs Doyers was great last night.
Yeah, Dodgers going to be the second most popular team on the slate. Yeah. So I think it's an interesting slate. There's some lower-owned pitchers that I'm interested in, and there's also some lower-owned offenses that I'm interested in. I mean, Brian Wu has had a really good start to his career, but he's come down to earth a little bit lately, and he gets an Angels team that's been – they were hot and then they were cold on their road trip, but getting back home, Ohtani on the mound. It's an interesting spot for a low-owned Angels team.
Hey, Schlong, any thoughts tonight on the Cubs, secondary stacks, or even going to the Cubs? What are you doing tonight? Some broad thoughts on tonight's 6-gamer.
Cubs and Dodgers are pretty much going to be the chalk. Dodgers a little less just because the Cubs are really cheap and you can fit it with an Ohtani Arias pairing, which, you know, if you're playing the Cubs, maybe don't play those 2 pitchers. You know, find a way to get a little different if you're playing some Cubs teams elsewhere at either your secondary stacks or your secondary pitching. Other than that, I mean, I think it's going to be slightly wide open after the Cubs and Dodgers. I think the Twins will be fairly popular just because they're cheap as well, and they fit really well with that pitching pairing. And after that, I mean, I personally like the Dodgers tonight just because they're a little harder to fit. You know, they're all pretty much 5K or over for the main pieces. It's harder to pitch them with Ohtani, and it's harder to pitch them with Arias. So I have the Dodgers as my top team on the night, Cubs secondary, just because of that. The Reds are going to get some ownership. I think this is still a very good spot for them. And I really do like the Astros here. I think the Astros are going to go completely under the radar. It's probably my favorite leverage team.
All right, so we're going to get into the pitching here. First of all, Boynton, Friday Happy Hour show with myself and JT sounds like fun. Having sex with a woman sometimes, Boynton. And then Beefy Lair. Holden, shut your mouth when JT is speaking. Beefy Lair, having sex with a woman sometime. It's going to be awesome, and you won't be as sassy. And Phallic wants to know something, too. Is that a Burberry harness / collar on your dog?
It looks like Burberry. It's not. It's a $20 harness from our dog store.
It's unfortunate. All right, let's do the pitching thing, JT. And we're not going to go down everything at one point in time. I want to go 8,600 and above, and then we'll get to Woo and below. But we got Ohtani-san tonight, dominates the Mariners. Arias, who has looked like crap, but he gets the A's. Sonny Gray against St. Louis. Mitch Keller taking on Milwaukee, and then Christian Javier against the Yankees. And Javier's last 3, he's been a little better lately. So talk to me here. JT Hayes, from 8-6 and above, how many of these pitchers can be in the pool tonight?
I'm going to start with Christian Javier. And this Yankees matchup has been a really good matchup for opposing right-handed pitchers, even though Aaron Judge is back, even though Stanton's back. If Javier can limit his walks in this environment, and like Bryce said, I expect Houston to do work here in this game and win this game. He's got a 28% strikeout rate, and he dominated the Yankees in Yankee Stadium last year, and he also dominated them, I believe, in Houston. And at 8,600, if you're going to fade, let's say Ohtani, who I'll just mention is coming off a complete game shutout, first of his career, first time pitching into the ninth inning against Detroit in his last start. If you're going to fade him and you go Urias, and we'll talk about Urias and the length limitations that are always there with the Dodgers starters, but Javier might be my favorite lower-owned pitcher of the slate here at 8,600. He hasn't been good all season. He's been inconsistent all season, but he has that strikeout upside, and I do like taking some chances on him here at 8,600. Mitch Keller, I've been a fan of. Still a fan of Mitch Keller. He's just been overpriced all season long. He's not now going deep into games. He's kind of a six-inning pitcher the same way that Sonny Gray is. So I think Gray actually has a little bit more of an upside potential than Keller does if he's pitching well and efficient, but he just doesn't do that very often. So I think I'm probably out on those guys. I think I'm toying with the idea of being under the field on Ohtani just because I'm showing high ownership on him, but his projection is very, very mediocre for someone who's 11K. And look, we saw today, right? You had Gausman and Scherzer both projected 60, 70% range. And, I think Gausman ended up with around 10 or 11 fantasy points. So he was a good fade on the early slate. I think Ohtani may be a good fade here. And then Urias is a guy I'm going to have some of, but tough to get overweight with a Dave Roberts pitcher.
Third and Schlong, it's going to be a little difficult to get Ohtani in maybe a 5-man for the Dodgers in tonight. I don't know if you were thinking about going 5 or maybe a mini or a 4, but can you start with Ohtani, what you're doing with him tonight, and then let's go down the rest of the pitchers. Don't go into the 7K range, 8,600 and above.
All right. I like Ohtani more than Urias just because he just has more upside in terms of pitch count and leading to strikeout upside. I'd probably be around field on Ohtani and under on Urias. On these slates where you have a super popular pairing like this, I typically like to be under the field. And as JT said in the early slate, it's pretty similar to that with those two guys up top, Scherzer and Gausman. In terms of this middle tier, I would rank them Javier, Gray, then Keller. I prefer Javier of the three, and I like him as a pivot. I like the Astros in general tonight. Javier has not been great, and he's kind of priced like it, but, he has the pitch count upside to throw, 100 pitches if he's going well. So I do prefer targeting the Yankees lineup to targeting Milwaukee's lineup. And, St. Louis is St. Louis. They're not great, not awful. It's not incredibly hot in St. Louis. So I think Sonny Gray is fine here as well. I would probably be slightly over on this group of 3 pitchers and slightly under on the top 2.
Okay. And I got to find out if Mookie Betts is playing tonight. We haven't seen the lineup yet. He was taken out last night. Not too concerned about it, but we'll find out about that in a little bit. We'll continue pitching in just a moment. Was that a squeaky toy? I like doing shows with Schlong now. This is great. Squeaky toys, elbow humping. I'm not even kidding.
Got all
this
the
is a
kinks
lot
in
of
here
fun.
for you, Holden.
Huh?
Got all the kinks in here for you.
I'm all about it, dude. Like button would be great. We'll get to the rest of the pitching. And as you see on the screen, 23% off for life, any and all packages with the promo code NFL23. NFL kicking off here, DFS. We got Kurt with the playbook tonight. Bruce, I mean, if you're not a member, you don't know who these people are, but they're absolutely spectacular at what they do. Bruce with the projections. We have got the showdown slate for the Hall of Fame game taken care of. So I'm excited to play some NFL for the first time. We have a great NFL team. Like I said, JBC's on board now. We got Third and Schlong and our regular team. The Old Guys Pod, if you haven't listened to that, JT, myself, Spread a Stare. I can't remember the other guy that does it, but whatever. We'll figure out his name. We're still grinding. Uncle T. Okay. Terrence. We're still grinding MMA. We're still grinding baseball. We'll do it through the playoffs, through the World Series, the showdowns. Going to kick some ass there. We got NFL showdowns too. You name it, we got it. So really excited about the guys that are coming on here. Does Schlong do a core?
Yeah, we have a ton of exciting content planned for football. Just went over it with Big T yesterday. I'll be doing 5 shows a week. I think we have JBC on 4.
Sweet.
So we have you covered for content. Showdown, mains, all of it. I'm mainly going to be on cash core content for my NFL picks. Some GPP mixed in there. My typical strategy, I'll play 150 on the showdowns, and then typically one main team on the main NFL slates is how I attack the season. Been doing it for years. So yeah, we're super excited about NFL. You're not going to get a better deal than NFL 23 across the industry for the amount and type of content you're doing. We're trying to make it more driven, a little more direct, actionable, pretty much unlike the first 10 minutes of the show. Just the exact opposite of that is what you can expect to get.
What happened in the first 10 minutes of the show that you're knocking it?
I think you'd have to go on camera and ask yourself that. Just more straight to the point information, make your life easier as opposed to listen to Holden blabber about whatever
about your dog humping your elbow and
as fun as it is,
lubing your elbow up.
All
right,
for people who are busy, unlike yourself, Holden.
I mean, I'm pretty busy today. I got a lot of stuff going on. Like button would be great. Use the code because I know it's going to happen. You're going to go, are there any codes? And the code's not going to be as good as the one you got now, NFL 23.
This is the best one you're going to be getting.
Huh?
It's the best code you guys are going to be getting.
Yeah, you're not going to get a better code. Plus, you get preseason tonight and baseball tonight. Come on, let's do it. Golf. We got golf showdown
all night after the show, sweating out the NFL game. Nothing more I love in football. So.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm extremely excited about this. Got betting on that. Look at this. Bill Miner, thank you. You put Schlong in his place. We know who stirs the drink here. All right, back to the pitching. JT Hayes. JT's not feeling good today, by the way. He's feeling a little run down. He told me not to go to him as much. So, Schlong, you're going to have to pick up the analysis here. Yeah.
I said I was
Brian Wu on down. Woo! We love us some Wu, but Wu has not been very good lately. Schmidt taking on the Houston Astros. Sears has a death sentence in LA against the Doyers. You know who's pitched better is Jamison Tyone. Unfortunately, I don't want to play him in Wrigley Field. And then Luke Weaver's about to get shelled. Libator for St. Louis. And Adrian Hauser. Can you start down at 5,200? Can you make a case for Hauser? Because I really want to roll him out there against a Pirates team that likes to strike out, despite the fact that he just got shelled by Atlanta.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, there aren't many pitchers that haven't gotten shelled by Atlanta this season, so we're not going to hold that against them. Hauser's so first of all these guys are sprinkles for me. None of these guys are going to be anything higher than maybe 15% owned in my player pool. I'll start with the guys who I'm definitely going to fade. I'm not playing Clark Schmidt. I'm not playing JP Sears. I'm not playing Luke Weaver. They're just not going to be in the pool. Hauser with a 4.5K prop, juiced to the over. Pittsburgh will hit some home runs, but they'll also strike out last 30 days. I think it's 28% against opposing right-handers. And 5,200 is a fair price if there's an offense. We were talking about the Dodgers earlier. I love the Dodgers. If you wanted to play the Dodgers and the Astros together, Adrian Hauser is a guy that fits that, right? Adrian Hauser is the guy that lets you do that. But if he gets you 12 or 13, let's say Milwaukee gets a win because that Pittsburgh bullpen has been really, really bad of late, then I think that makes a lot of sense. Liberatore is a guy that they sent down to the minor leagues. He was very inefficient. But with Minnesota being popular and them also not being able to hit left-handed pitching very well, they got about a 28% strikeout rate. I don't hate having a couple of shares of Liberatore as a pivot off of Hauser, who I think is going to be much more popular. Taillon at 20%. I kind of like the leverage of playing some Reds bats against him because, in particular, it's been the left-handers against Taillon that you want to play. And then Brian Wu, again, we talked about it. Started off very, very well. Came back to earth a little bit. Gets an Angels team that has strikeouts in their lineup. And at his price point, he's probably going to be a fade. He's probably not going to make my player pool here. But if I was going to add one more guy, I think 7,500 for him is not a terrible price. But I just don't think I'm going to get there because I like the other guys a lot more.
Okay. And that's your breakdown of the bottom of the pitching slate, right? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Wonderful. Schlong, let's get into this here. The bottom tier, start with Wu at 7,500 on DK, on down to Hauser. Who are you going to throw in your pool tonight?
Wu and Schmidt are my least favorite of these, price considered. Sears and Weaver, I'm not playing. I'd have a small sprinkle of Wu, Schmidt, and Liberatore. I do like Hauser and Talion. That's where I'm going to be concentrating down here. I probably play them around 20% each in my pool. If you only throw one of them, it lets you get another ace, and it lets you pretty much do what you want with bats. If you throw both of them, you can literally get whoever you want with bats. Ohtani's never a fun fade, but I think pairing him with one of these guys or Arias with one of these guys is good. So that's kind of where I'm at tonight. Once again, Liberatore, Weaver, Sears, no interest. Wu, Schmidt, very low interest. And I'm kind of trying to go like pretty high-low tonight in general.
All right. Very good. I think we got the pitching pool here from these two gentlemen. That's wonderful. Is there anybody better than Schlong here? He's keeping the dog busy. He's giving out winners. You got Sad Sack JT, who's just sick. Very low energy today. Very, very disappointing. And then you got me, the idiot. So it's great. NFL 23% off for life. You're not going to get a better deal. Let's do it already. Hit the like button. That's spectacular as well. We're going to go game by game now. And again, guys, not worried about any weather tonight, right, JT? Just a little pop-up storm probably in St. Louis, and we'll get past it.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my my statement.
Bill Miner wants to know if we've made the big announcement because he came over and listen. So here's the deal: Holden's
my
engaged.
Last show.
Holden's engaged to a man, and that's the announcement. We support you 100%. I could not be happier for you. I can't wait to send you and he a lovely gift of some sort.
Yeah. Will you be the priest for our marriage?
That's not something I can do, but we can work on that. We'll find you.
Unfortunate. All right. Did not know we were going to go in that direction, but that's fine. Bill Miner, the big announcement was JBC is here. And if you don't know JBC, spectacular. Wonderful track record in DFS. I'm already busting his balls, which means I like him a lot. I'm a big fan of his work, and I think he's going to come on and kick ass. So that's going to be great. And thank you, Jacob Stubbs. I appreciate it. Casey is the name. Casey Kushner. It's actually my girlfriend's name. Her name is Casey.
Yeah.
So let's do this here. Schlong, do you want to go first for the first game since JT is just trying to hurt my feelings and it's not working? We do have Pittsburgh and Milwaukee. We got Mitch Keller and Adrian Hauser. I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of people that go to this game, but if they do, which direction are we going with Pittsburgh at the Brewers?
I can see Pittsburgh drawing some ownership simply because they're ultra cheap and you need some cheap bats today if you want to play the expensive pitchers and expensive hitters. I prefer the Milwaukee side of this game. I like Hauser a decent amount. So, his ass is about to get
shit show.
What
a complete shit show.
Every other time I've done a show, we need a new solution for this. Every other time I've done a show, my fiance has been here and able to keep him a little under control.
Yeah. Do you have edibles at your house? Because
he's going to get some CBD for sure.
That's not the three letters that's going to help him, buddy.
I like the spray bottle though. The spray bottle is key.
Yeah.
Spray his ass. All right. So
Yates. I'm glad this is a free show. I'll just leave it at that.
No, honestly, the members would enjoy it a lot more. So, I mean, because I'm sure in about 5 minutes, one of these people, saying that loosely, who come in here and sometimes like to troll, are going to be bitching about it. So don't worry about it.
I don't even know where you were before you started spraying your dog with stuff, getting him drugs.
All right, we'll get back into it. I like the Brewers more than the Pirates here.
Okay.
I think the Pirates actually garner a bit of ownership here just because they're so cheap.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at builds, it's just like if you want to play, like it's super easy to play like a Cubs 5-man, 3-man Pirates on an Ohtani Urias team. So I think the cheap bats here for the Pirates will garner some ownership. I mean, it's still Adrian Hauser. The only reason he's in consideration because it's a 6-game slate. I think Houston is the leverage here, getting back to this game. I'd have some Yankee stacks, but I mean, I'd put Houston up into that tier of like the top 2 teams are the Dodgers and Cubs, and I think Houston's one of the few teams on the slate with the upside to match them.
All right, JT, it's your turn, my friend. Pittsburgh, Milwaukee. Is this a cornucopia of DFS winners?
No, I don't think so. I think where I'm playing Pittsburgh, it's mostly going to be 2-man stacks. I like if Sawinski's in the lineup, I like him quite a bit. Sawinski, Reynolds. No, they have someone who's not in the pool named Alfonso Rivas leading off, actually. Sawinski's batting cleanup. That's interesting to me, but I'll probably have more interest here on the Milwaukee side. Talked a little bit about the Pirates bullpen. And how bad, especially the middle of that bullpen has been. Yelich, tough to get to, but Yelich has been really, really solid, consistent over the last 6 weeks or so. So like him, guys like Mark Canha, you can kind of skip here. But I think maybe some of these guys towards the top of the lineup in Milwaukee, I'll play some of those guys, but not a ton of interest.
One of the 5 games down. Tiggle Biddies, I'm going to give you some more attention. Why don't you stop taking out your sexual frustrations on the YouTube chat and sign up with the code NFL23. That will keep you busy for a while. Yes, JT?
No, I like it. I like the advice.
And as Snyder says, hit the like for the fellows. So you might as well do that. JT, I'll come to you first on this one. We'll go back and forth. We'll do a little seesaw with you. Houston at the Yankees. The Houston offense at full force right now, taking on the rookie Schmidt and Christian Javier going up against the Yankees. I'll play the Yankees if there's a lefty on them. I'm not messing with the Yankees tonight. What about Houston for you, JT Hayes?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this. Houston is my favorite lower-owned stack here. They're going to come in, looks like, in the 5 to 6% range. And I like them as full 5-mans, and I like them as minis. I like some of these guys, particularly Tucker as one-off. Chas McCormick has come on and seems to be like an actual regular outfielder that they can rely on with a bunch of power. He's got speed as well. So I like the Astros a lot here. I'm probably not – I won't not have the Yankees in my pool, but I'll be very, very low on them in terms of 5-mans. And if I'm playing any, it's probably mostly 2-3-man stacks of the Yankees. But I like Javier quite a bit here. So much lower on the Yankees.
Schlong, what do you want to do? Are you high on the Yankees or the Astros tonight? That's a great point.
You're on mute.
Yeah. Sorry, he was barking. We got I like the Astros. I'm playing one team tonight. It's going to be an Astros 5-man or maybe a Dodgers 5-man, but it's going to be Astros Dodgers is where I'm leaning. I think it's pretty good leverage off the Cubs. Just the recency bias on them is going to be pretty absurd after putting up the runs they have the last 2 nights. 2 nights?
Schlong, they've been doing it for 2 weeks. They've been doing this since the All-Star break.
Yeah. Holden, I'm just never playing a 40% owned team in baseball.
Can't you get different somewhere else? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Astros are – I mean, I'd still have the Cubs in my main GPP pool. Like, it's not like I'm fading them, but – they're simply too cheap, and they fit too well with these top pitchers. So it is what it is, and you got to take your lump somewhere. So my favorite of the Astros bats, the expensive ones, just because they're harder to get up to, Jordan and Tucker. going Yankees side, I mean, it's hard not to play Judge in a Yankees stack right now. He's prohibitively expensive. I think Bowers is fine for cheap if you don't trust Javier. I like Javier a bit, but I'm kind of indifferent on the Yankees tonight. I'd probably play them around field.
Okay, we got the Dodgers lineup, by the way, and Mookie Betts is in, so kind of excited about this. We'll talk about the Doyers in just a little bit. Schlong will come right back at you with the Minnesota St. Louis again, Libator and Sonny Gray. So this is just this place here. Anytime we say let's go Minnesota, they just shit the bed. Okay, so one of these days is going to turn around. Is tonight the night to go with some Twins? Third and Schlong.
I'm going to be underweight on the Twins. They're going to be popular. Good team total on the road. They're basically free, and that's the biggest thing. This is them and the Cubs are kind of the chalky build that I was looking to get away from. So I'd much more be willing to eat some Cubs chalk than eat some Twins chalk here. They won't be as popular as the Cubs, but I'm going to be underweight on them. I think it's fine more as like one-offs or like if you need some salary relief, but they're also not pinch hitting quite as much as they normally have been. But I mean, the pinch hitting stuff still gives these guys a lot of outs to fail, especially in stacks. I prefer the Cardinals side of this just because nobody's gonna be on the Cardinals at all. It won't take much to get over on them. So it's pretty much where I stand there.
All right, JT, let's do it. RPS Kryptonite Twins. We going there tonight?
No, I really don't have a lot of interest in the Twins. I do have interest in the Cardinals. I think Sonny Gray has regressed to such a point this season. I mean, I've been fading him mostly. I think I'm probably going to just cross him out and not play him. I don't know that the upside overall is there, given the arms on the slate. Again, he's and you talked about the Twins. Bryce talked about the Twins pinch hitting. Talk about the Twins and their pitcher management. I mean, the pitchers were bitching about it just last month about how they get pulled at 80 pitches, 90 pitches. That's what they've been doing with Sonny Gray, and he's 9,400. So I will have some of the Cardinals be underweight on the Twins as well. But I think two or three man stacks of the Twins make some sense because of just how bad this Cardinals bullpen is.
Is that your phone, Schlong? Is it your computer?
Yeah, that was it. I was bitching to my fiance about how our dog won't shut up. Seeing what tips she had. She said give him some CBD.
Anyways, NFL 23 is the code. Don't forget, we got a bet side. We got a really good bet side too. JJ, Uncle Dunkle, that is. We got Joey Work, both these guys on a baseball side. They'll be doing football work. Schlong, are you a bettor?
I am.
You are?
Not as much as DFS, but
okay.
We'll have betting content out there.
Schlong better.
JBC's a pretty big bettor.
Yeah, that's the. I'm a big bettor. I love betting, especially the NFL. So JBC. Oh, if you didn't hear, it's our new edition. JBC. If you don't know who JBC is, get going. Do a little research here. I think a lot of you do know who he is. If you play DFS, he's been around a long time. So really, really excited that JBC is here. Really excited to see Schlong here. 23% off life year subscription. Get in now or you're Dunsky. Stick a fork in it. You're going to ask for another code. It's going to be good, but it's not going to be as great as this one because 23% off for the life. However long you're with us, you get 23% off. I think it's a pretty great package there. You can add the bet side for $20 or you can go to the bet side, get 23% off with that. NFL 23, I'm going to talk about it a million times. Also, hit the like button. We would really appreciate that. Now that your phone is shut up, Schlong, can we talk about the Reds and the Cubs, even though you want to fade them? I'm playing 3 lineups tonight. I'll have a Cubs-Dodgers. One of the 3 will just be a Cubs-Dodgers, and then we'll get different elsewhere. So talk to me here. Cubs lineup's out. Reds lineup's out. Doesn't seem like you're going to be playing either side very much, but if you were, where are you going?
I probably prefer the Cubs side here. Just because I'm likely using Talion as a cheap pitcher. So It just kind of takes the Reds away from me in that decision-making. Stop. I think that the Cubs plays that are the best are these cheap guys if you do want to play these expensive pitchers. Guys like Bellinger are going to come in much lower because you have other people at first base and whatnot. But like Ian Happ, probably going to be the chalkiest hitter on the slate, I think. He's a 5K hitter in a 3K spot. So take your lumps where you get it. I think the Cubs are probably better if like you're including some of these lower owned guys in your stacks that aren't going to be quite as popular, like Candelario. Nobody's really going to be on him. He's a little overpriced and hitting at the bottom of the order. So if you want to play the Cubs, I would get different, at least in some way, just so you're not running the same chalk Cub stack that everyone else is. Find a way to mix it up a bit. And then with the Reds, I mean, Talion is Talion. He's not great. He's not atrocious. I can get rocked. It's Wrigley. Ball's been flying there, even though the wind isn't blowing out. Whether that's the new ball or whatever it's been this season, it's a good spot for the Reds. So I wouldn't be, even though I like Talion, I wouldn't be under on the Reds. It's more of a price thing with the Talion like.
So JT, talk to me here. Reds, Cubs. How many bats are you going to have from this game? Or are you going to play it a little crazy here and just fade it?
No, I'm not going to fade this spot. Not with these pitchers. Like I said, I will not have any Weaver. I think you can try Tyon. Looking at this Cincinnati lineup, it does look like there's just too many left-handed batters in this lineup for him to navigate around, in my opinion, as I'm looking at it a little closer. So I'm coming a little bit lower on Tyon. But even so, the Reds aren't like my favorite team on the slate. They're not in my top 3 or 4. Cubs, tough to fade just because the Cincinnati bullpen has been worked throughout the series. 36 runs in the first 2 games. It's like, who do they have left to run out? So, I mean, I think it's interesting there, but they're going to be the most popular team on the slate. But I think, if you're playing them with the Astros, if you're playing them with Milwaukee, you're playing them with the Cardinals, you're playing them with a lower owned team, or as Third and Schlong said earlier, you're not playing them with Ohtani and Urias, then I think that's fine.
Okay. So let's take a second and talk about Schlong here for a minute. Trevor Bryan says you're a mess. I disagree. I don't think he's a mess whatsoever. I think he's probably, look at him, just completely fed up with this whole bit already. He also says much worse has happened on here, which is true, which is totally true. We had a guy piss his pants on the air one time, so that's amazing. That was Uncle Terry because he can't, he's incontinent at his old age. Andy Wurzel. Hey, Schlong, there's a little switch on the top left side of your phone that will turn it to silent. For the love of Christ, please utilize it.
Well, it's a free show, buddy. That's all I'm going to say there. It's more of a computer issue. I don't have my AirPods with me, and I don't think I've ever had to mute messages on my computer before.
Okay. Well, just give you a little shit. Nobody takes more shit than JSU and then probably me. That's probably the 2 people that take the most shit here. What's that?
Surprised it's not Mangone.
No. If people just leave Mangone alone these days, they're like, whatever. What do you mean, what? Who makes fun of Mangone anymore?
I'll tell you this. Honestly, I don't even think it's any of those. I think it's Mikey. Mikey is he's the resident RPS dwarf, and he takes a lot of crap.
So here's what we got. Mikey, who lives with his dad, mows the lawn, doesn't have any pubes. We've got Rubio, who just won like $1 million and still lives with his parents. I mean, we got some. I don't know what Kirk's doing. What the hell does Kirk do, JT? What's that guy's deal?
I think he is a beach bum right now. So,
okay, and you're right. Tony Snow when Mangone is when it's Mangone, there's nothing better. He absolutely goes crazy. And then Jacob Stubbs wants you to be mean, Schlong. Exactly. So. 2 more games to go. Looks like we're going to get close to an hour on this show. It was a little bit of work, but we're going to get there. Schlong, Seattle, and the Angels. Wu has been a little shaky lately. Let's just put it that way. I mean, if you play a couple Seattle bats, you're going to be in the minority. So what do you want to do here with this game? Can we pick off a couple of bats?
I like Seattle more, not as a 5-man, but I think you can get some one-offs against Ohtani here. Probably the cheap ones, let you get some of these expensive bats in elsewhere would be my favorites. The Angels, so much of their hitting equity is in Ohtani right now, and when you can't choose him as a hitter, I think it really kills the appeal of like the 5-man stacks for me. So they're going to be mini stacks only, in my opinion. Like if you could choose Ohtani as a hitter, I would have a lot more interest in the Angels here, just simply because Wu hasn't been very good, and his pitch count isn't very high, and he's just not going to go incredibly deep into the game. Favorite bats here, if we're picking any, I'd probably say Suarez, Ty France, and Julio. And then on the Angels side, if we're trying to make a mini, probably go Crone, Mustas, Moose, and Grichuk. Just get the full old Rockies guys, but I'm not super interested in either team here. A's are pretty much a fade for me. You can go to some of these cheap guys, but they have pinch hit risk. They're in the worst spot of the night. I think there's plenty of ways to get different other than going to the A's. And the Dodgers are my favorite team of the night, them and the Astros. So stack them up.
Nice job taking care of your dog, too. We haven't heard him in a while. And the spray bottle must have worked, or the shocker.
Spray bottle works.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Had to go grab it.
JT, low-owned Mariners tonight. Can we do a one-off or something here? Is it just a complete fade?
No, I'll have some Mariners stacks again, just because we're talking about the Angels, we're talking about a weak bullpen behind Ohtani. And again, I'm going to reference this. He could have a fine game tonight, but coming off the first complete game of his career, first time he pitched into the 9th inning. And you look at what he's done, he's been prone to the home run. So guys like Cal Raleigh, who has a ton of power, I like him a little bit. I actually don't mind J.P. Crawford. Again, I'm not going to be like 25% on Seattle, maybe like 7 to 10%. Looks like they're going to be low owned, but I will definitely have some of those stacks. And then the Angels, I mean, they're okay. I mean, like Third and Schlong said, I mean, when you can't play Ohtani, it makes the stack a lot more difficult, because normally if this team goes off, it's going to be Ohtani that is leading the way or doing a lot. And I am on the other side. I'll play Moustakas. It's tough for me to play Randall Grichuk against a righty recently. Moniak, I think, is all right, but I'm just lower on the Angels overall, but I'll have some.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, but again, it's baseball, man. Just weird shit happens all the time. So
Sure.
Ohtani, walk a couple guys, give up a 3-run bomb, boom, all of a sudden. Terry Niehaus, how many days to the Wishbone Pod? Well, we're 35 days away from the regular season. So that means 34 days away from doing our first Wishbone Pod. It's the old guys pod. And it's free. So Tig Old Biddies can even listen to it while he's, doing whatever he's doing.
Which, by the way, that's pretty soft of you. I saw that you banned him, and you.
He's back. It was a 5-minute ban.
Just said he was banned. His comments were
5-minute ban. I wouldn't ban him.
Comments were removed.
The only person for 5 minutes. God damn it with this phone. This is a complete shit show now. It's not all my fault anymore.
I mean, it's mostly your fault.
It's mostly your fault and Schlong's phone.
I feel great.
See,
should I talk about the Dodger game? And
no, I don't want you to talk about the Dodger game. I'd rather Schlong talk about the Dodger game first.
He did. Thanks for paying attention.
He hasn't talked about the Dodgers game yet. We haven't gotten to that. Schlong, did you talk about the Dodgers game?
Briefly.
No. Spend more time on it.
All right. A's. We'll run it back for Holden. A's, pretty much a fade. They're too cheap. Or they just suck. They are cheap if you're fading Arias. Carry a lot of pinch hit risk. I think there's better places to get different. Dodgers, Mookie's in the lineup. Him, Smith, probably my favorite bats of the night. Thinking of running a Houston 5-man with them. is pretty much where I've talked myself into on this slate. So read into it what you want with my pitching, but it's not going to be pretty. I think Rosario is going to be mega chalk here at 3.9K hitting fourth. If you want to get a little different on your Dodger stacks, don't play him. Mix in some of the lefties. But yeah, the righties are in such a good spot here in the series.
JT, did I miss you talking about the Dodgers?
No, I mean it's not going to be all that different than what he said, but not a ton of interest in the A's. I have interest in Urias. I just think the Dodgers absolutely smash Sears and the A's here, and it lowers the ceiling that Urias ordinarily has, which isn't very high because Dave Roberts will bring that bullpen in at 90 pitches if he's got a lead, just like he did last night. Tony Gonsolin was pitching well. He threw 5 innings and not a lot of pitches. So one thing I will say against Sears, though, is left-handed power. I am going to be increasing the projections for Muncy and Freeman to make sure that I get them in my Dodger stacks.
Okay, very good. We got plays of the day. We don't have any things here for the whatever the hell the Eiffel Tower play of the day is for JT. Still don't know what Schlong's is. He's given us some material today, though, JT, between the dinging, the donging, and the dog. So I think we'll get something here for Schlong pretty quickly. No question about it. One more time before we go, though, and you get the plays of the day from these guys. You've got NFL 23 as your code, and you're not going to get a better deal. 23% off, not just for one payment, 23% off Run Pure Sports for the lifetime of your subscription. Either you're going away or we're going away. One of the two things happens. That's the only thing that the deal is no longer there. So promo code NFL 23, not just NFL stuff. Baseball team has been killing it. No question about that. We've got MMA. We just added JBC. We just added Third and Schlong too. So the team is only getting stronger now. I think stronger than ever, be perfectly honest with you. There's some tennis. There's the golf. Our golf team is absolutely spectacular. If you play Golf Showdown, I know we got some Golf Showdown coming up too. So that's fine. Who put that up there? Who put it up there?
I mean, I think there's only one person who can.
Not me. I didn't put it up there.
Read it. Why don't you read it?
He goes, Phallic, this show's supposed to make me smile. Normally it does. Today it's stressing me out. What about that stresses you out, Phallic?
It's just you can count on Kevin for certain things, and complaining is one of those things.
He's schlep rock. The cloud just follows him all the time. There's always why is the code NFL 23? It should be NFL 25 for 25% off the thing. I mean, it's 23 because it's 2023, Phallic.
And it's unique. It's unique. By the way, Mike M.A., go ahead and hit somebody up in Discord. I'm sure they will let you get in on the code, even though you already signed up. So tell them who to hit up, Holden. You're supposed to.
There's two ways to do it. You can either get in the Discord and hit coordinators, or you can go info@runpuresports.com and say, guys, I just signed up and I missed out on the code. So sorry about that. They're going to hook you up. Nobody's going to be a donkey about this. So make sure you get in there again.
Don't start with threats. Do it politely and everything will work out. Yeah.
Hold on. Me or him?
I'm talking to him.
Okay. And then we do have a preseason showdown tonight. All the content's up. So let's go do that. Let's get the play of the day. Eiffel Tower play of the day. JT Hayes.
Man, I'm in between two guys. So I'll tell you, I'll see if I can get both these guys in a lineup. I think it's doable. Kyle Tucker and Max Muncy.
Really?
Yeah. So last night, if you played the Dodgers, Mookie Betts was 31% owned. Muncy was 7%. And I like those. I like that ownership.
What do we got here, Third and Schlong? What's the play of the day?
We'll get two in there for you. Adrian Hauser, Mega Mind, cheap pitcher. And we'll go with Yordan Alvarez. Your dong, Schlong's dongs, whatever you want to call it.
Good job. I'm going to go Jamer Candelario tonight.
Man, who asked you? Who asked you for a play? Nobody.
I don't give a shit. I'm hosting the show, Mr. Clean.
You can't. First of all, you can't choose Jamer Candelario. You can't choose a fucking 30% on player.
I don't care
Right.
what you say. I'll choose a 30% owned player if I want to choose a 30% owned
You
player.
want me to end the broadcast?
NFL 23 is the code.